think you're muted. Still can't hear you. But we're live. Yeah, gotcha.
I've seen so many live streams start like that. I just pressed the button. I've got, hello, Brad here. Welcome to the Weekly Jam. I have 3 screens and I just pressed a button and all of them went like that. But now I found them all again. Hooray. And I think I found Peter. Hello.
Hey, Brad. Nice to hear you. It's very confusing. Try to stream to YouTube and yeah. But we're getting there.
Yeah. So I think
each week we'll get a little bit better.
Yeah. Week 3 of the Weekly Jam. And we've worked on our whatever that thing's called in the top right, and couldn't help but notice that it's just needs to come down a little bit, Pete, for this one. Live, ladies and gentlemen.
This is
how about that?
Live insight into Brad's OCD. Here we go.
It's really it's highly problematic.
I appreciate it.
So this is all about us talking with you, and so if you're there on YouTube and you want to type a comment in, then it's really cool because that gives us an opportunity. There's a button here that allows us to bring it into the live stream and bring it up on the screen, and that'd be really fun to use that. And so
Jacob
also,
is here. Thanks, Jacob.
Did Jacob say something in YouTube?
Yep, he's here.
Okay, well, we'll stop the clock because today is the day. Comments and reactions.
Oh, nice. Come up on the screen.
I don't know how to do
interactive elements.
I don't know how to make it. I can see it. Oh, wow. And so at some point we're going to talk about how we do this stuff. Well, actually, once we know what we're doing, we'll tell you all about how we're doing it and what happens and how to get a comment up on screen. This is really exciting. Oh, there's Pete. It's amazing. All right. So also news just to hand, some big things happening, a new segment this week, and I don't know what's going to happen when I press this button, Pete. You ready? Whoa.
Yes.
That was pretty quick. Let's I think that went quite
try that
quickly.
Again.
Okay.
And it went to vice.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
It just should go to your cam, I think.
Ideally. And then it just seems to happen very quickly, doesn't it? So. But anyway, there you go.
I love it.
A new section.
I love it.
New segment called Bradagogy, and I want to break down what Bradagogy is over the course of the next little while. And essentially the home of Bradagogy is on Substack, where we've... have we prepared... I didn't prepare it, but have you prepared the Substack by any chance, Pete?
I can get Substack for you, Brad. Just give me a moment.
Right.
But
so,
yeah.
This was going to be the week that we were slick, but I spent all of my time on that, which is going to pay off in future. It's going to be worth sticking around for, honestly.
I'm sure there's some sort of like educational answer for or like lesson, I should say, for that. Of like going through it really poorly for one class and then the next class you absolutely smash it.
Yeah. I mean, people that come next year are going to think we're genii, surely.
Yeah.
So good news is I put the clock on down the bottom, and so we'll make sure we keep an eye on that. Tight show today. We're going to be out by 4:45, our advertised time. So
Nice.
we want to talk to you about what we're up to and how we get our message out and how you get your message back and how that all works together. So let's have a look at. Are we good to go? Yeah. Let's have a
Yes,
look
Brad.
at what you've got. So
Yeah.
this is pretty exciting. This is Substack, and on Substack they've given us an opportunity, because we clicked a button, to write the GBL story. And so I've gone from step 1, and this is the home of Bradagogy, and it's going to take a while, but over the next, maybe it might take till the end of the year, I'll roll out what Bradagogy is and why you should care. You should care. And so this is Substack, and so two things going on here. One, it's a blogging site, but then it sends out the blog. If you're not familiar with Substack, sends out the blog via a newsletter to your email inbox, and it's also got a really cool iPhone app. But wait, there's more. You can record podcasts straight in, and they've just got this new feature where you can narrate your newsletter. And so it's this cool merging of newsletter, blog, and podcast. And today we're turning it kind of into a behind-the-scenes vlog as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
tell us about it.
It's all synced to an RSS feed as well. So for Brad and I, we're slightly different in the fact that I like to read newsletters and like keep them in an inbox, and then when I get time, I can read them. But for Brad, he's like constantly just jogging around Narrabeen Lagoon. If you know, you know that it's amazing, and listening to podcasts. And so we've satisfied both types of people: podcast people, new newsletter people, and Substack does that for us, which is really cool. And it might do for you as well. You might find it could be an interesting educational tool. We're finding it really intuitive and easy to use. And so we'll be distributing that on every Monday. And you can have the text or you can have the audio all in one hit. And it's available on Apple Podcast and Spotify and probably every other podcast app. And the link is below, Brad. I've already put it below for people.
Holy moly. Is it in there? Do you mean, or
No,
just...
it's in the YouTube live stream, man.
What? Which I've lost because I've got
Yep.
too many screens. Whoa. That's really cool. That's really cool. So, yeah, what does it... Can you show the people... There's a couple of really cool tools. Can we show the people a preview of what it looks like to have the audio and the text in the same place?
Yeah, we'll have to go behind the scenes.
Yes. That's what we're here for.
You guys want to? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well,
Take us behind the scenes. Because GBL is a bloggers,
sign in.
right? GBL is a bloggers. So, and I'm inspired by my students at a leading conservatoire who blog all the time, and I mark their blogs, and so this is me putting. And Pete and I have been blogging for years, but this is us on Substack now, and let's have a look.
yeah, just logging in, Brad. Just give me a
Oh,
moment.
okay.
I'm in a
funny-
different browser, so.
Funny thing is, I'm logged in as well. Should we have a look at the as well? Can I just say that Canva's killing me. Holy smokes. Canva is so close to being awesome. And then I think I used 4 apps just to make that 3-second thingamadoodle today, which was massively annoying. So yeah, had I set up a share Brad's Mac, then this would have gone much more smoothly. But I spent my time
ready
in
for you, Brad.
Canva. Okay, so this is
Yeah,
coming up
so-
soon.
Yeah, so with Substack you can schedule posts and do all that sort of thing, but inside the actual post you can do a few things. So you can add um, your own voiceover, which is what Brad was saying, or you can embed your own audio. So you could set up. There's no reason why you couldn't set up, your lesson plans inside a Substack. That'd actually be pretty cool.
It would be pretty cool.
Because a lot of people are doing that just with websites. So yeah, you got Canvas, you got Moodle, you got every single LMS underneath the sun. But a lot of people are just finding websites are way more hip. And now, I guess like the longer the internet is around, the more closer things become. Like Twitter's becoming the everything app.
Yeah.
And yeah, so Substack now is it just started out as newsletter, but now it's podcasts and voiceovers, and it's got AI, and yeah, it's getting hip. So this is how we do it, and you can add your images, do your block quotes, and whatever you like, and you can have your list of people that you distribute to. So that's a little behind the scenes of Substack.
It's so much fun. It's really interesting too, because I just set out to write down what we call the folklore of GBL, and to I guess I got to a point with my with you may not know, but I just finished my PhD in May, and just about to graduate actually on the 16th of October. Unfortunately, only 2 tickets available. Otherwise, I'd love you to all come. I'm just kidding. Yes, graduations aren't my thing. But anyway, so I've got all this stuff that I learnt over the last 10 years. And so, like I said, Pete and I have blogged a fair bit. But this one, I just wanted to go back, and I've literally gone back to what were the first books I was reading, and what does that mean? And I guess I'm trying to uncover my path and weave it into GBL. So that's essentially the story. And I wonder if we could just have a look then at where I started, Pete, with the very first post. Would that be okay? And I'll just... Did you just log out again?
Here it is. Yeah.
Okay.
No,
That's so
should
funny.
be right.
And so...
let me just track it down. Very
we've got
first
a few
post.
Yeah, this is really cool, because we've got a few in the can, and so I'm trying to get as much in the can as I can, and we'll just roll it out 10 a.m. every Monday. You get a podcast or a newsletter podcast. And when I was thinking about this, we were wondering where to start, and I just wanted to start where I started with, is it rabbit season or duck season? And so in this post, I talk about this concept that I learnt from Dewey, and was a big part of my thesis, which was this idea of either-ors. And there's just so many either-ors in music education that I thought that's the place to start. So the newsletter / podcast is my way of bringing me and the literature and music teaching and weaving it all together. And so, and also, as we'll learn as we go along, I'm all about pop culture. And so when somebody says, is it this or that, I immediately think of my favorite cartoons from when I was a boy, and this is just a really famous cartoon. So what I'm hoping, and what I've done in this, is link the debates we have in music education to Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck, trying to convince Elmer Fudd that it's either rabbit season or duck season. And as you can see there, I'm trying to make the link that this is a big deal, because clearly if Bugs convinces Elmer that it's duck season, bang, that's a big deal for poor old Daffy. And so similarly in music education, we're always hearing it's this season or that season. And if we take a couple of either ors from the blog. So in general education, let's see if we can find some down in the next little bit, Pete. There's some actual examples of, so explicit instruction versus minimal guidance, open versus closed classrooms, knowledge-rich curriculum versus discovery learning. And then I call them the overarching either-ors of education. And then that plays out in music education through these kind of ones, classical versus pop, and I think a great one for us, Music 2 versus Music 1, formal versus informal learning. So these either-ors are something that Dewey says, well, he says mankind, sick, like to think in terms of either-ors. It's either this or that. And, well, the consequences for that for our students, bang, it's a big deal. So I wanted to start there to say we have these either-ors in music education, and maybe you're not aware of them. Maybe you hadn't noticed. I certainly think in terms of either-ors, and I think reading Dewey and going, oh yeah, I do. Whoops, I do either-ors all the time. And I remember getting into music education as a gig-based learner, and thinking about I've got to bring some rock and roll into the classroom, and not thinking of, and so setting up a classic either-or, classical versus rock and roll, and so helping to think about this, and over the course of many blogs to come, I'll unpack some tools that we can use to help us to deal with these either-ors. But there you go, step one. I think by the time we got to, I won't give away the chase, but the question is, in music education, is it rabbit season or duck season? So there's some bradygogy for week 3, and an introduction. Thanks, is that okay? We got there.
Yeah, and if you want to read it for yourself, go for it in Substack newsletter, or listen to the audio version, which Brad has had a lot of fun with lots of audio snippets that are referenced in the text as well. So, Brad's had a long history as radio presenter and for Northern Beaches Radio, was it?
Yeah, it's so funny, Pete. Radio Northern Beaches call sign is R&B is the actual call sign, and our classroom at the school we worked together had a classroom. They had 2 classrooms, and one was called Rhythm and the other was called Blues, and we knocked the wall down between them and it became Rhythm and Blues. And people, here's an exclusive, we didn't name it. Somebody else did.
Correct.
So there you go. A long history of being involved in rhythm and blues.
Nice.
So there you go.
Cool.
Is that okay, Pete?
That was awesome. Thanks for your bradygogy segment. Looking forward to the next episode.
Yeah, really, really interesting, isn't it? That you dip a toe in and somebody says, "Oh, did you know there's Substack?" And you go, "All right, I could probably smash out a few hundred words." And then you look up the top and go, "Huh, there's a record button there. I could probably just speak into it." And then I'm thinking, "Oh, but I'm going to need effects and I could need to put some extra sounds in." And then before you know it, you have to quit your day job. Yeah.
Yeah.
But oh well, it's cool.
Yeah, it is cool.
So let's finish up, Pete, with a quick look at the GBL community of practice and what actually the heck is going on, and how you can get involved. And the first thing is,
sure.
If you're watching this and you think, all right, that is a little, that's about as slick as it was last week. But please keep turning up, because we've got great plans. And once we've made all of,
I was gonna say,
Sorry?
I've also got a robot roundup if you'd like it.
yes. Well, I just thought, yeah. Do you want to go for robot roundup? I think we should. Okay. All right. Let's do robot roundup. Ready?
Okay.
The other thing. So last week we made this one. That's very funny. Ecamm Live wants to access.
Robot Roundup. AI news for music education.
Yes. that new audio came through. I hope people appreciated that. And so Brad, I wonder if we could get into my screen, because I've been discovering some new AI tools this week, and of particular interest is one that is called Singify. And for me, I definitely a confession I make on the regular is that I'm a very poor singer, and it takes about 15 plugins for me to sound pretty good. Not even good, just pretty good. And so I find anything like this very interesting, because I'm like, I could use this. I think if someone else could sing for me, maybe I could be famous, Brad, and be like Taylor Swift one day or something. Or in fact, with this, be just Taylor Swift's backing band. That could be kind of cool. So this came on my radar as something fairly interesting, and also with my music education hat on of, what does this mean for us as music educators, for our students, to engage with AI song making? Because that's a redefining moment, I think, for us, potentially. We'll see how it plays out with a level head, don't want to get too hyped up. But this is cool, because if we click the Create Covers, AI Covers Now button, which I'll just do in here, you can just add in a link of your choice. And so for me, I'm in a band called Hot Potato Band, so I'm just going to pop in a link for you here. And it can just be a YouTube link. That's pretty cool. And you can do a search that way. But before you do that, you need to download some voices. So see here, you can have all sorts of things. Like I checked out Plankton, which is pretty funny, and SpongeBob, and of course I tried Taylor and some Billie Eilish. So, let's go Taylor. So you can download Taylor's voice, which I've already done. You paste in your link, and it will do a little bit of a search, and you go, cool, yes, that's the one. And you can say make AI cover, and it just works in the background. And you might want to, depending on what you're uploading, so I'm uploading a male voice, even though he's got a high range, I'd probably bump it up, maybe a tone. That could be cool. Yes, I agree. And you can convert your tracks that way, and just you can give you a little notification. But for me, it doesn't really take that long just yet. I guess once more people use it, it'd take a bit longer. And then just going to pop it into your covers. And I've already done a couple today. Had a little bit of fun. And here's one I prepared earlier, which I've actually uploaded to SoundCloud, and I've popped that in the links down below this video for people if they want to check that out too. But here's one I did with Thank You by Dido, and we did a cover of it in a reggae one drop style, and so I put Billie Eilish's voice over the top. Do you want to hear it, Brad?
Yeah.
Okay.
Been waiting my whole life for this.
Yeah, in the start, it actually emulates the trombone, so it's a bit like it glitches a little bit. So anything that maybe is similar to a voice, it might think it's the voice, and so it puts Billy humming over the top. Getting that audio? A little bit wiki there.
She's gone cold and wondering why I got out of bed at all. Cornering clouds at my window, and I can't see it all. Leave it if I could, and we'd all be great. But your picture on my wall, it reminds me that it's not so bad. It's not so bad. I wanna thank you. You've given me the best day of my life.
It's pretty funny.
I wanna thank you.
that's kind of cool. It's interesting to think about the educational implications of this. Like, I thought of like maybe 3 initial ones, which would be to embed Singify into a remix or cover challenge. And so you could have, pick multiple covers and remix them together and really mess with the vocals in that sense. Or another thing could be you could upload your own original music, and then upload your own backing vocals and have someone like Billy or Taylor sing the backing vocals or even the lead vocal. I'm not sure if that's even cool to do, but and then maybe the third thing would be to create wicked parodies that make people laugh, because teenagers, they probably just mess with it and make funny things. So could be interesting for people to engage with and see what the young people do. Of course, we probably don't even know what they'll do with it, but it'd be funny to get this inside of their computers and see what they could do with it.
Dude,
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
So that wraps up the robot roundup, Brad.
Okay, and so we'll get slicker with that.
Robot Roundup. AI news for music education.
But then we'll come back and see. So, couldn't help but notice that we're out of time, but we're not out of ideas. We've still got plenty more. And far out, really excited that we've got a comment that we can learn to post for next time. I just uncovered a few things, pretty excited about it. So thanks. We've got the GBL blog and we've got the GBL podcast. We're here every Thursday at 4:15 till 4:45. That's going to get tighter. And there's lots of ways. And down the bottom, www.etc. gigbasedlearning.com. We're there. And we love you to be as well. Joining the community is free, etc., etc. And for now, we didn't even get to tell any news or anything, but let's sign off. And if I can find the end screen, I think we'll call it a day. Thanks.
See you next week.
time.